Okay, I am going to try to do the PDF printer in a video so that everybody can see it and follow along, hopefully. So this is the file that you should have gotten off of Canvas that says how to kind of do the whole thing, and that you have to have a PDF printer to do the project, and you absolutely have to have it. It's one of the rules of the project that it has to be in PDF format. The final step of the project also will be in PDF format, and I realize that it's annoying and it's kind of a pain, but these are the rules of the project, so hopefully we can figure it out. So it tells you what a PDF program is. Basically, a PDF is like a fancy file, and there's different ones you can get. There's one you can get that you pay for that I do not have, that you can get it, and it does work better. So if you have $35 and you want to buy this one, that's what I would do. But we're going to go the free route. So it talks about getting Adobe from IU. So I'm going to go to their website, and then I'm going to hopefully be able to download the software. And I probably will pause this as I do that because I live out in the middle of nowhere and I have Frontier satellite internet, and it's sort of like AOL dial-up. It's really slow. So I don't know how long it'll actually take to download something. So it's going to IUware, which is IU's free software thing. You get all kinds of awesome stuff here. So if you haven't been here before, you should check it out. So it's going to want to know, okay, what kind of software do you want to have? And based on our instruction sheet, we want to have Adobe Acrobat and whatever the latest version is. I don't know that that's actually the latest version. So we're going to look and see it has Adobe Creative Cloud, which is not quite the same thing, but that might be what we have to get. And Acrobat Professional. So let's see if we can actually find what it wanted us to get. So we're going to do Adobe, what was it called again? Adobe Acrobat is what it wants us to have. So let's search for just that and see what happens. So we have an option of Pro or just the plain. So let's try the plain since that's what our instructions say. Mind you, I haven't actually ever done this before, so who knows what happened. So it comes up, it says Adobe Acrobat software lets you deliver professional PDFs, create and edit PDF files. Boom, that's what we want to do. So we want this one. We're going to choose what kind of computer we have. I have a Windows computer. I'm going to choose the Windows version. And then it's going to come up and say, blah, 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 log in for access. So I'm going to say, okay, I would like to do that. And again, if you look over here on the left at all this awesome stuff, there's so much stuff in there. And it's all like free for IU students or faculty, which is just great. I need to go somewhere where I have like unlimited internet and download some more things. So it's going to take you to the central login page. You're going to enter your login information. And then it should take you back to the page where you can actually download the software. Your computer is probably faster than mine, so it's probably already there. If you can hear the noises in the background, that's my chicken. One of the chickens. I believe she's laying an egg right now. Okay, so now it's going to say, to install Adobe Acrobat, you must do it via the Adobe Creative Cloud Packager. Awesome. So the first thing we want to do is install the Adobe Creative Cloud, then do that, blah, 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 blah. So we're going to start there. So we're going to say install the Adobe Creative Cloud. So click on that. It's going to take us to another screen. Which is going to show, okay, here's Adobe Creative Cloud. You must accept and review these. So it says, I'm faculty or staff, or I'm a student. You may not give this software to anybody. Do not do that. You'll get yourself in all sorts of trouble. It's only for your personal use while you're working for Purdue or a student or at IU. Where did I see Purdue on there? My niece goes to Purdue, so. Only while you're at IU may you use the software. Blah, blah, blah. You can read through all that. So you say, I accept these terms. It should say agreement is accepted. The software requires a product key. So you're going to say get the product key. Product key acquired successfully. So here's my product key. So I'm actually going to copy this. So I'm going to highlight the whole thing and then I'm going to press Control C on my keyboard. You can also right mouse click on it and say copy. You can also write it down just in case. That way for sure you have it. So installation instructions. So where is my software? So delivery option here. So we want the actual software. I don't think it started downloading. Let me move this out of the way. No? How do I install it? So let's go there. It's going to take us to another screen. So far, this is pretty fun stuff, I tell you. Read through it. You have to have admin. If you've already used your redemption code, go here. Go to there. A link will open in the window. Go to IUware and get your code, and then go to Creative Adobe Redeem. So here, we want to go here. My goodness, this is complicated. Okay, so now we're going to go to this next screen where it's going to want us to download the Adobe Creative Cloud. I feel like I might be like selling my child to Adobe at this point. Maybe they'll come pick her up later. They'll probably bring her back though later when she gets hungry. What else could I talk about while my computer's thinking? Again, just remember this project is a department-wide project for the School of Business at Indiana University. I did not write this project. I did not really have anything to do with the project. I made a couple edits because there was things I thought could have been a little bit better. Okay, so now it wants to know our Adobe ID, which I don't know if I have one. So we're going to make one. So we're going to put in our first name and our last name, which you'll put in your own information, my email address, and a password. The password must include lower and uppercase letters, one number or symbol, and be 8 characters long. Where do I live? I do live in the United States. Please do not email me a bunch of junk that I don't want. So I'm going to uncheck that. I'm going to say sign up. And then it's going to take me to yet another screen. My chickens are all going crazy now. I don't know what's going on. Now it wants my redemption code, which of course it's going to do it as a whole bunch of blocks. But you can click Control V on your keyboard and that pasted it in. So I didn't have to actually type anything. So again, it's Control V, the letter V like Victor. Or you can go back over here to one of these 9 screens we have open here. And then you can write it down and paste it in, type it in, however you get it. Just get it in there. Then you want to say activate my membership. And it's going to say verifying. Keep your membership current. You'll have to do it again next year. So we say, okay, that's fine with us. So basically this will buy you 1 year worth of this program. And we say continue. And now it says your membership is activated. You're paid until next year. Now we say get started. Now it's going to actually take us to the Adobe website to Get started. Browse for the program that you need and install it directly from your Creative Cloud desktop application, and then use the desktop application to find information. So open the Creative Cloud app. So let's do that. Now it's going to ask us what we want to do. So we're going to let it do the default, the Creative Cloud, whatever that is. We're going to say, sure, okay. Sounds good to me. And it's still thinking. And now it comes up and it says Creative Cloud. This has been so far a whole lot of work. We haven't even gotten to the program yet. Maybe we should have spent the $35. Okay, so now we're going to sign in with the ID we just created a few minutes ago. So our email address and the password. Oops, I think I got that wrong. And then we're going to say sign in. And then hopefully it will come up and give us maybe a list of software. Oops, that out of the way. I'm going to go back over here to this one just to make sure. Error code. Started. So it's going to come up with the Creative Cloud. If you're installing Acrobat, you'll have to close your browsers and open your Microsoft Office applications. So we'll probably have to do that. Okay, so here's my Creative Cloud software agreement. You can read through that. Say accept. Again, I probably just like sold my dog this time to Adobe. And now it's saying, oh, there's an update to my Creative Cloud. Hopefully it'll let me go on without doing that. I do not wish to be. I want to just open it. Apparently that's asking too much. Go back here and find my Creative Cloud. A new version of Creative Cloud is available. I suppose I have to update. It's not going to let me keep going. So we'll update. So while it's doing whatever it's doing, I'm going to go ahead and close some of these windows because it said that you have to have everything closed to be able to do the install. So if it ever actually does work, then I can get rid of it. So there's my Creative Cloud. It's still saying a new version is available. Yes, I would like to update, please. There it goes. So I'm going to stop the recording while this does its thing. So it's doing an update. I may have had this installed on my computer before, which is why it's wanting to update. If I didn't, it may be asking me to install. So your screen actually may be a little bit different than this. But either way, you want to get the software program, do the updates, and then as soon as that's done, I'll start the recording again from what happens after that. Okay, so hopefully this will work and you didn't just get to see all the fun stuff I was doing, like party RSVPs and my grocery list. So now it's updated. So now I need to go and reopen it because it didn't just open for me. So I got to go find it. So this will depend completely on what version of Windows you have on where it will be. If I can locate it. So Adobe Creative Cloud. So it's there in my A's. So I already have Adobe Photoshop installed on my computer and I have Adobe Reader. So I'm going to click on Adobe Creative Cloud. And hopefully that'll open up. And again, at this point, we still have yet to actually install software we need, which is the Adobe Acrobat. So we're still trying to get to that point. So hopefully you're not doing this like the day this is due at like 10 o'clock at night. Or you have a really fast computer and really fast internet. So nothing's opening. I'm going to go over here and see if it opened up where I can't see it. It did not. So, I'm not sure what it did. I'm going to try it again. I'm going to go ahead and put this on my start so I don't keep coming here. Move it over here. So I'm going to click on it again. Now it'll probably open twice. We still got nothing. Let me minimize this. And this. And this. Ah, it's still updating. I see it now. Even though it told me it was done. It's updating. So we'll wait on that to finish and I will start again. Okay, so it appears now that it wants me to sign in. So we're going to try this all again. So I'm going to sign in with my account I just created. Click on sign in. It's probably going to tell me I need to update 30 or 40 more things so that this takes even longer to do. Just thinking. It's still thinking. It's still thinking. And now it does say it has been updated. So that's awesome. I'm going to blow this up just so we can kind of hopefully see what we're doing. And so we have not actually installed any applications yet. So these are the things that we can install. Photoshop, Lightroom, Illustrator, InDesign, which I totally want Photoshop, but we'll do that later. Premiere Pro, Dreamweaver, Muse, all these other things. So we're just going to look at the list. Again, we are looking for just plain old Adobe Acrobat. So we're going to see if we can find that on the list. So there's the Pro version. I'm just going to see if there was an actual not Pro version, which I'm not seeing. So we're going to go for that version. So we're going to find the Acrobat Pro DC. So even though that's not exactly the one that's in the instructions, that's the only one that I'm seeing on this list. So that's what we're going to go with. So we're going to say install. It's going to come up and it's going to say blah, blah, blah. We're going to say continue. And it's going to say, do you want to allow? And we're going to say yes, please. And now it's showing that it's installing. So again, I'm going to pause because I live in Flintstones age, so this will probably take 15 or 20 minutes. Okay, so it's finally done. Pretty sure I should have packed a lunch for this. So I'm going to say start trial. It's probably going to need to install something else. So you started your 30-day trial of Acrobat Pro DC. We'll say okay to that. I'm thinking we probably still can get a code, like because we have an actual license. We'll have to figure that out. Because the 30 days, unless you get your project all done really fast, you probably won't have it finished. Adobe Acrobat, I don't really care. I don't have any assisted technology. We're just going to skip that. If you have some kind of assisted technology stuff, then for sure, like, do that. Okay, so now we actually have the program installed. We're going to go back to the actual instruction file to see what it suggested that we do next. Because that was pretty awesome. I don't even know how long that took, but it took a long time. Part of that's because my internet, again, is really slow. So we downloaded the cloud thing, we downloaded Adobe Acrobat, and now I am just opening up the instructions again so that we can see what it wants us to do next. Okay, so after downloading, you will have a printer in your system called Adobe PDF. I'm going to just check and make sure that we do. So I'm just going to go to File, oh, right there, Save as Adobe PDF. Pretty fancy. It can also, should be able to go to Print, and I have Adobe PDF as a choice. Super fancy. Okay, so we have that. If we don't have that, then something went wrong, and you should probably reinstall it. Do not ask me for technical support. I have not worked in IT in about 14 years, and I'm completely out of touch and out of date, and I won't be able to help you. So contact the IU computer geek people because they are very smart. Okay, so once we get that done, now we're going to print our company's 10K filing. So we need to actually then go and follow those instructions at this point. So these are the instructions for the printers and how to do the merging. But we're going to go back now to the actual instructions for the program or the project. So I want the annual report project instructions. So the first thing was to select a company. Just for the sake of picking a company, I am going to choose Amazon because that company has been done to death, and I know that I can get the financial statements, and they are a merchandising company in the United States. So we're going to go to Edgar, and we're going to find them. So I always skip this step because you don't need to have their code. You can just find it. So we're going to go to the internet. Move that out of the way. And then we're going to find their 10K. So the first thing I'm going to do, oh, yes. So when I opened up Firefox, the first thing it wanted to do was add in this Create PDF add-on. So I want to say yes, I actually do want to allow that. And of course, I have to restart. Because that's pretty much how this whole thing's going. So hopefully it'll restart for me. Okay, here we go. Okay, so now we're going to go to the SEC website, so sec.gov, and then from the sec.gov website, you're going to go to Edgar. Edgar is where all of the public companies' filings are, so all of the financial 10K, all that jazz is there. So one thing that you can do is you can search for it up here, and it'll come up, and you can say company filings, or you can go search Edgar for company filings, and it'll actually take you to that screen. And now it wants to know what company name. So we're going to choose Amazon. The one advantage, if you did have the ticker symbol, you actually follow the instructions that are in there. Some companies are listed multiple times or multiple ways because they may have changed names or there may be a different company out there. Like when we choose Amazon, we get all these results. So we have to find the actual right one. So I know that Amazon is from Seattle because it's where I used to live. So I'm going to look through here, and there's only one of these that's based in Washington. So that's Amazon.com Incorporated. So that's what we want, Amazon.com Incorporated. They're not a biotech company. We're not after the herb company or mining. So we want to make sure you get the right one. So we're doing Amazon.com. So I'm going to choose over here on their number. And then it's going to bring up all of their filings that they've done with the SEC. So we only want 10Ks. So we're going to go to filing type, and we're going to choose 10K, and we're going to say search. And then it should only bring up all of their 10K filings. So you can see I have 10Ks all the way back to 1998 that I can look at for Amazon. And so in the instructions, it wants us to find our company. So here's this, find the company, locate their most recent 10K, and click on the Documents tab. You will be presented with the company's complete 10K listing for that year. So we're going to go here, We want the most recent year was 2015, so we're going to click on Documents. So it's going to come up, and here's all the stuff from their 10K for this past year. So in the instructions, select the document whose description is Form 10K and open it by double-clicking on the red file link. This will open the company's 10K report. So we're going to find Form 10K. Here's the red. So we're going to click on that. You don't have to double-click it. One click will do. So here's their actual 10K. For Amazon Incorporated, Form 10K, based in Seattle, Washington, and it's everything. So we've got that. We're looking at it. Search the document for the company's consolidated income statement. So we're going to look. So the easiest way is to use your browser. So I'm using Firefox. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to say Find. And it'll come up down here in the bottom left. If you're using Chrome or IE, it'll be in a different place. But I'm going to look for Consol. It's still looking. It's not finding anything. It dated. See if it'll find anything. So here it says Consolidated Statements of Operations, but I want the actual statement. So I'm going to keep searching. So now it's saying Selected Financial Data. So here it has some selected. This is not the whole thing, so I'm going to keep looking. The following financial data, blah, blah, blah. Keep looking, keep searching. Just keep clicking next. Eventually it'll come up, hopefully, to the actual financial statement. So this is showing some percentages and net sales information. That is not what we want. This is also showing some more net sales and percentage information about growth. This is showing some equity information and some very basic financial statement information here, but that's not what we want. So we just keep searching, and hopefully we'll find it. Index to the consolidated financial statements. So it's going to tell you what page they're on. Here is where we want. These are the actual financial statements we're getting into here. So you see there is the auditor's report, the statement of cash flows, the statement of operations, the statement of income, the balance sheet, the stockholders' equity, and that. So we want the statement of operations, I believe is the one we were after from our instructions. So the consolidated income statement, it may not be called that. We want basically the income statement. So this is our income statement. So you see we have product sales, expenses, blah, blah, blah. Eventually we're getting to net income. So the consolidated statement of operations is the income statement. Whatever it is that shows net income, that's what we're after. So this is what we want. So then the next thing is save the company's 10K report to a PDF file by choosing Print It in PDF format using that. And then repeat it for the 2 previous 10K filings. And then we're going to use our PDF software to save the required financial statements. Okay, so based on what this wants us to do, we've found what we want. We know this is the right one. We want to save the company's 10K, which would be the whole thing, to a PDF file by choosing to print it in PDF format and using the file name that. And the file names need to be specific. So if it's in all caps on your instructions, it needs to be all caps on your file. You'll lose points for that. So I'm going to go to here, and I'm going to go to here, and I'm going to say print. It should say preparing to print. So now it comes up to print, and I'm going to go to print. And then it should come up with a screen that says, okay, where do you want to print it to? I want to print it to Adobe PDF. And it's going to say, what do you want to print? Right now, I want to do all of it. So I'm going to say, okay. It should come up and ask me probably where I want to save it. Maybe. We'll see. It says it's not responding. So this is pretty awesome. Okay. Where do you want to save your PDF at? So I am going to save mine in my folder that I have for this class. So I'm going to find that on my computer, my documents, IU East, this class, annual report project, and I'm going to call this then company. So my company is Amazon, and then underscore annual report underscore year. It was 2015, and that's it. I'm going to say save. So now it's doing its little thing, I think, hopefully. So then the next, while that's doing that, if you read through the instructions, it says, repeat the above procedure for the company's 2 previous 10K filings. Note the information needed for your project will come from 3 different 10K filings. Even if your financial data shows 2015, 2014, 2013, you still need to find the 10K from those years. So your 10K from 2014 will show 2014, 2013, 2012, and then your 10K from 2013 would show 13, 12, and 11. So you have to have all 3 years, not just the one just because it has it on there. So this is printing the whole thing into a PDF document at this point. So it says it's been created. So that's awesome. I want to close this. Now I want to get those other years. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back again. I'm going to go back again. So now I'm back to my 10K search. I want 2014. So I'm going to click on document. I'm not going to go through the trouble this time of searching through the whole thing. I'm going to go to Form 10K. I'm going to go to the one I know I need because I know now that it's listed in there. They're all going to be the same. And so I'm going to go to File. I'm going to go to Print. It's going to come up. I'm going to say Print, Adobe PDF. I'm going to say OK. One of the things you want to make sure, if you see up here on the top, you can see it's showing the web address where I got this. Make sure this shows up on your printing or you'll lose points because you can't tell that it came from the SEC. So now it's going to say, what do you want to name this one? So I want to do this one, Amazon Annual Report 2014. So I say save. So it's going to take a while to do that. And then I'm going to do the same thing again the next time for 2013. So these are really long. So their financial statements is like 111 pages long. So that's why it takes a little bit of time. So then we're going to close that. We're going to go back. I'm going to go back one more time. So now I need the year before. So I've done 2015, 2014, now I'm doing 2013. So I click on Documents. And I find Form 10K. I click on that red link. It's going to bring up the entire 10K that they filed. I'm going to go to Menu. I'm going to go to Print. I'm going to go to Print. And this might be different if you're using Chrome or something else. So I choose Adobe PDF. Just make sure when you print that it's shrinking everything to one page so you can see everything. It's not cutting anything off. It looks good. So I'm going to choose now, I'm going to call this one Amazon Annual Report 2013. I'm going to say save. So now I should have all of my annual reports in PDF format. So at this point, I shouldn't need to use the internet. I will be doing everything off the PDFs that I printed that are now stored on my computer. So while it does that, I'm going to read through the next instruction. So we want to use our PDF software to save the required financial statements, starting with the income statement. So we're going to print out the statement of income from the company's current and previous 10K. Print the most recent year first and then the previous year to the same PDF file and name it this. Okay, so now we have all this printed. I'm going to go back to my Adobe Acrobat Pro that I opened up earlier. It wants to verify my email address to continue. So that is awesome. This is super fun. So I'm going to go to the internet. I'm going to close this. I'm going to go to my email. There's a lot of steps to get this super awesome program to work. So hopefully it's going to open up my email. I'm going to stop this just in case I have anything in there I don't want to be recorded. Okay, so once you get in your email, I did have an email. There was a link that said, click on this link to verify your account. So I clicked on it. And it says your email has been verified. Continue on. So I should be able to go back over here and say, check again. Like, okay, I've done that now. I'm verified. Okay. Let's see what happens. Okay, so now it's opened up all of my financial reports for me, even though I didn't ask it to. So if it didn't open them up, then you might have to go and find them. And it wants to know about assistive things. So I don't really care about that. I don't want it to read it to me or anything. So I'm going to just say, don't show me this again. Okay, so now we have our program open. And we have our financial statement open. So I want to go down. Oh, and it stopped working. This is pretty fun. Okay, so I'm going to say close the program. I'm going to try this again. Close that. I'm going to close that. And we're going to close that. Don't read my email. Okay, so we're going to try this again. So we're going to go to Home, Creative Cloud, Adobe Pro. I have it installed. So I'm going to say Open. And here are my things that I had, so I can open them up again really fast. So I'm going to open up 2013. I think it's thinking. Okay. I'm going to just say cancel on this thing. Maybe that's what I did. So I don't want it to do any of that. Okay, so there's 2013. Then I want to open up the others. So I'm going to go to File, Open. Then I have to browse through until I find my actual file. I'm going to go to My Documents. My Documents. And then I save them in my folder. Wherever you save them, that's what you're going for. Don't follow my path because you probably don't have them saved the same. So we have 2013 open. We want 2014 to be open. And then we're going to say cancel to that. I don't know what that is. I should probably read it. And we're going to say open. And then we want 2015. So now we have all of them open again. So we want to state, no, go away. Don't show me this again. We want to start with the consolidated statements of income from this year. So we want to go for the 2015 version. So this is my annual report from 2015. And we want to find the income statement. So remember, we searched for it, but we know it's way down on the bottom. It's on page like 80 something. So I'm going to kind of scroll down to the bottom and see if I can maybe get lucky and find it. Which I probably won't be able to. So I'm going to do a find. Let's see if I can figure out how to do that. So up here on the top, there's your magnifying glass. So what do you want to find? I want to find the statement of operations. I'm going to say next, because I know that's what it was called. So remember, this wasn't the full one. This is like part of it. We want the one that's the whole thing. except for maybe that was it. No, that's not what we want. Let's do financial statements. We want that one little menu that showed where they all were. Index to this financial statements. Here we go. So there's the signatures. Wow, there's a lot of people that have to sign that. And then there's the exhibit index. Keep kind of going down. See? Now I've made it mad again, and it's not responding. No wonder so many people don't want to do this project. It's kind of pain. So now my computer's mad. It's not responding because I've apparently asked it to do too much. So, okay. So we're going to go back and we're going to search for consolidated. See if we can find it the way we did before. Consolidated of the statement of operations. So I see it on that index. So now we just need to find the actual thing. So I'm going to keep searching just until it finds it because it doesn't like me scrolling. Okay. So here we have the selected. This is not everything, so that's not what we want. Remember, we looked at that before. So we just keep on going through. Eventually, we'll find it. Results of operations. Okay, so here we go. Is this it? Nope, this is the thing that has the growth, and they've got percentages. That's that. Is that it? Nope, that's that again. We should have paid attention to exactly what page it was on when we were looking at it online. That would make this go faster. Okay, so right there it says it is on page 39. So there we go. Woohoo, we found it. Okay, so here is their consolidated statement of operations, finally. So we need to print this out into a new file, but just this. So this is all on its own page. Actually, it's on 2 pages, but there's nothing else on those pages. So I want just those 2 pages to print. So it's page 62 and page 63 is what I want to print into my new document because those are the pages that's my statement of operations. So 62 and 63, I'm going to write that down just so I don't forget. And I'm going to go to File, and I am going to go to Print. And then it's going to come up and it's going to say, where do you want to print it to? I want to print it, again, to an Adobe PDF file. And I want pages 62 and 63. You also could do the current view. So if it was just the one page or you had something highlighted, so if it wasn't the whole page, you could highlight it and do current view probably. But because mine was actually 2 pages, I want those 2 pages. And I'm going to leave all the rest of this the same. And I'm going to say print. Now, on my instructions, it says save it to the same PDF file, name the file, the company, whatever. Okay, so I'm going to say it's going to be Amazon financial statements, my last name, my first name. So that's how it should look. It should be all caps, your company, underscore financial statements, not all caps, underscore your last name dash your first name, all caps. So I'm going to say save. We'll see what happens. So it should be exporting that out into there. So here's my new document I just made. So the statement of operations, except I picked the wrong year. That was 2014. No, that's right. The financial statements from 2015 would be for the year prior. Okay, so there they are. That's all that's in this document. Okay. So now we need to add the next year to it. So I'm not sure how we'll do this. So we're going to just try to do it first. And the instructions for this, it says, once you get them to print the 10K, file print, blah, blah, blah. After you've printed all the financial statements, you'll have 7 different PDF files. And then you need to combine them, combine files. So I'm not sure which way we're going to do this. So we're going to see. So we're going to go back to our annual report for 2014 this time. So we did 2015. Now we need to do 2014. So we're going to, again, let's see what we can search for to find it. Maybe exactly. So let's search for that consolidated statement of operations. So I'm in my 2014. I'm going to search the consolidated statements of operations. So next. It's not it. Let's see next. That's not it. Next. It's not it. Okay, so here it is. That was a lot easier. Okay, so here is, again, this is 2014. So it's showing 2013, 12, and 11. And it's on, this time it's on page 55. And it goes on to this page, so page 56. So you see up here, it doesn't matter what page number this says, it's what page number it is in the PDF file. So 55 and 56 are the ones I want. So I'm going to go and I'm going to say, okay, file, print. And I want to, again, I want to print to Adobe PDF, and I want 55 and 56. And I'm going to say print. I don't know if it'll let me like bump it onto the one we did. That's what I'm going to try. So I'm going to choose the one I did, Amazon Financial Statements, me, and say save. So now it wants to know, do you want to replace this? No, I don't want to do that. So we're going to have to do them all separate. So I'm going to just come in and call this instead, this will be number 2. So this is the one I need to make the next entry. So I'm going to just say number 2. I'm going to say save. So you can't print them all at the same time. We're going to have to print them all separately and then merge them all together, because that'll make this even more fun. Okay, so there's my income statement for the previous year. So print the most recent year, check. Now we need to move on to the balance sheet. So from the same files, we want to find the balance sheet. So we're going to go and find the 2015, and we want to find the balance sheet. It should probably be the next thing after the income statement, and it is. So here's the balance sheet, and it's page 64, and that's it. It's all on page 64. So we need that. So we're going to go, and we're going to say File, Print, Adobe PDF, just page 64. I'm going to say Print. And this is the third one we want. So I'm just going to name this one number 3. That way I remember this is the order they need to go in to my final document. So I'm going to say save. So that was my balance sheet. And we need 3 balance sheets. The most recent year, the previous year, and the year prior to that. So that was 2015. Now I need 2014. So I'm going to come down in my 2014, find my balance sheet. So it starts here on page 57. And that's it. It's all on page 57. So I go to File, I go to Print, I do page number 57, and I say Print. So this is going to be the next one I do. So I have number 3. This will be number 4. I'm going to say Save. The reason you need 3 years worth is because some of the financial ratios take beginning of the year data and end of the year data. So you need that other year. Okay, so there's my number 4. Now I need that last year. So I need the 2013. We haven't actually found it in this one yet. So I'm going to go back to find, and I already have this in my paste, so I'm going to go ahead and just paste that in. That should get me close. And then I'll be able to find the balance sheet. So here's my statement of operations, but I need the balance sheet. So here is my consolidated balance sheet, starting on page 43, and it ends on page 43. So I'm going to do File, Print, page 43. And again, it's Adobe PDF. I'm going to say Print. It's going to ask me, what do you want to save it? So this will be number 5. And I say Save, and it does its thing. So then the next thing that we want is the statement of cash flows. So repeat the procedure and print the company's consolidated statement of cash flows for the most recent and the prior year. So I'm going to go back to 2015. I got 8,000 things open now. Okay, so my Amazon annual report 2015. And so I'm going to go down. I did not see it. Maybe it was above it. I'm going to go up then. That was my income statement. Okay, so here's my cash flow statement. So it's on page 60 and page 61. So that's what I need. So I'm going to say File, Print, page 60 through 61. I'm going to print. I need a snack. This is taking forever. Okay, and then I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to say, okay, this one's number 6. So I say number 6, and I say Save. Then I need the previous year after this. So I'm going to go to my 2014 financial statement. Okay, so I'm on my Amazon annual report 2014, and I want to find the statement of cash flows. So here's where it starts. It's on page 53, and I don't think I need that, so I'm just going to do page 53. So File, Print, page 53, Print, and this is number 7. So this is the last thing that goes in my file. I'm going to say Save. Okay, so now we're going to merge all these together, hopefully. So I'm going to go to the instructions, the choosing and installing a PDF printer, and it actually says that you can choose combined files in a PDF. So let's see if that's there. We may have to close all these, but we'll see. Okay, so I'm going to open up just one of my documents just because I want to see if it's an option. And there is. Okay, so go to one of your things and go to File and go to Create. And then say combine files into a single PDF. Now it's going to come up and say, what files would you like to do? And I'm going to say add files, add files. So now I'm probably going to have to go and find all of them. So it actually did bring me to my folder. I'm going to change this so I can see on like a list. And I'm going to find the first one. And the first one is the one that has no number. So the Amazon financial statements with my name, I'm going to say open. And then I'm going to say add files. Now I want number 2. Hopefully they come in order. Okay, add files. Now I want number 3. Open. Add files. Number 4. Add files. Number 5. add files, number 6, and then add files, number 7. Okay, so I have all of them in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have them in the order. Let me check the instructions one more time. Combine them. It'll bring up a screen. Selecting the files, make sure the order in which you select the files matches how you want them to be displayed, which we did because we numbered them, so we know we're good. After selecting the files, you can rearrange them if you need to, which we don't need to. When the order is correct, select Combine Files button, and a new PDF will be created which contains all of the financial statements. Awesome. The problem we're going to have is we already named it what we need it named, so that's going to mess us up. Okay, so we're going to say combine the files, combining them. It made a new document. It's called Binder 1 PDF. So now that we have them all saved in one thing, I want to check everything's here. So we've got income statement, income statement, income statement, balance sheet from last year, balance sheet from the year before, balance sheet from the year before that, statement of cash flows from last year, statement of cash flows from the year before that. So this is all the financial statements all together. I want to go back and I'm going to close some of this stuff. Maybe. Won't let me. Specifically, you want to find the one that's named the right thing. The Amazon financial statements, Louisiana, whatever your file name was, because we're going to just overwrite that. So I want to close this one. I'm afraid if I click exit, it's going to close all the way. I'm going to do it down here. So I'm going to come to this one. I'm going to right mouse click down here and say close this window. Do you want to save the changes to this one? No. Okay. Because I want this one, the one that's all the financial statements together, File, Save As, and I want this one to be called that because that's what my submission has to be called. So it's supposed to be called Company, all caps, Amazon we have, Financial Statements, not all caps, and then your last name dash your first name, all caps. So yours will be whatever your company is in your name. Okay, so that's the one I want to choose, and I want to say save. And now it's going to say this already exists. Do you want to replace it? I'm going to go ahead and say yes, I do want to replace it. Because at this point, we don't need them all separate. We're going to use them all together. And that's the file I need to submit. So now I have a file called The Right Thing with all 7 financial statements in it. Holy cow, that was super exciting and fun. But we did do it, so that makes me happy. So that is all you have to have for part 1. So you're going to submit that, you're going to save that file, you're going to go into Canvas, and you're going to submit this as your assignment for part 1. And then you'll move on to part 2, which is doing Excel, which shouldn't be hopefully this hard. So this concludes how to do a PDF file. And it only took, I don't even know how long. I won't be able to see it until I stop the video. But it took a long time. So make sure you plan accordingly. If it doesn't work the same as a Mac, I'm sorry. I don't have a Mac that I can use to show you. So hopefully it'll work. If you absolutely cannot get it to work, go on campus and get the really super smart people in the computer lab to help you because they're awesome and they will be able to help you figure it all out. So I'm going to stop this video. Hopefully you have great success. If somebody wants to pay me $200, $300 for these Amazon financial statements I've already got mixed together, I wouldn't do that because that would be very unethical. But I feel like I should because it took so long. So good luck, and hopefully you get yours done faster than mine took.